while back, I made a video talking about the new BMW 3 Series, the G20 generation, and it was really controversial. The video itself was controversial, my thoughts on it were controversial, the car itself was controversial, a lot of controversies around it, and more specifically I was detailing the M340i and why I really thought it was going to be an awesome car. Well, I finally got the chance to see it in person. This was actually a couple weeks ago at the LA International Auto Show, where BMW actually debuted the new M340i, the G20 3 Series. Seeing it in the flesh, getting to, get a feel for the car, hands-on and everything, was a really neat experience because it definitely, you see the car in pictures, you talk about it, you hear about it, you see videos and whatnot, but nothing beats actually seeing the car in person, getting to play around with its features, really getting an idea for what it's like in person to give yourself a true opinion on the car. And I am happy to say that I still stand by my opinions on that previous video of why I think the M340i will be an awesome car. Let's get into it. And as someone who owns a BMW 335i and has kind of built my channel off of that car, to see 2 generations later, the grandson, if you will, of my car essentially, it's really important to me to see where BMW is taking this generation and specific model into the future. And really getting a feel for the car and looking at it, starting with the front off, BMW did a really good job with sharpening up the front fascia of the car, making it look really aggressive, making it look very sporty, and definitely modern and able to, future-proof, essentially. It looks really nice, the way that the front bumper kind of comes together with the fenders and the hood. It is very BMW-esque, but it is also a very bold step in terms of design and styling, which I definitely think is something that BMW needed. They were a little too conservative with the way that they were progressing the design of their cars, so this is really cool to see. The side profile is very BMW-esque. When you see it from the side, it looks just like a nice, sporty 3 Series sedan. The rear of the car, this is a bit of an unfortunate thing, but it's also something that I don't really mind. I definitely think that I can see a lot of inspiration or similarities to a Lexus IS rear end, especially with the taillights and the way that the trunk kind of blends in with the rear bumper. It definitely looks a little more Japanese and German, but to me it's not a bad thing. I personally really like the rear end. I think it looks great. The lack of exhaust tips is one thing that was a little disappointing for me personally, because I like real exhaust tips. I don't like when they put these fake little shaped exhaust outline things and they just kind of stick them into the bumper. I just think it looks weird, and I don't know, but I guess for luxury and the classy appeal, I could see why they did that. So from an exterior standpoint, the car looks great, definitely looks awesome proportionally, still very much a BMW 3 Series, and I definitely think it's a really good step into the future. I'm really excited to see what tuners and people that kind of modify these cars tastefully are going to do to them regarding lowering it a little bit, putting some nice wheels on, maybe some nice carbon fiber accessories. I really think these cars are going to look sharp on the road in the coming years. The interior on this 3 Series is a huge step up from the previous gen. The previous gen BMW 3 Series, or the F30, had a very nice interior. It was very functional, it was very ergonomic, but it wasn't very luxurious. It was sporty, it served, it provided all the functions that you would need a nice car interior to have, but it wasn't on the level of something like an Audi or a Mercedes in terms of the interior feel, quality, and design. Now with this generation, BMW has taken a big step forward in terms of the overall interior design, in terms of the quality, and just the technology and functionality that is displayed amongst the inside of this car. For one, the new digital gauge cluster looks sick, it looks super sporty, it is very unique to BMW. The new iDrive is much larger. The way that they integrated the screen in with kind of the center control area, and then how it kind of meshes along into the gauge cluster itself is really nice. It feels modern and functional. I definitely like the ambient lighting. The new seats are really sick. Everything for the most part feels plush. Now this isn't an M car or anything, it's still a 3 Series, so you don't get the super soft Napa or Dakota leather or whatever it is that like the M cars or the higher end BMW models have. It's still more of like the standard pleather or whatever it is, but it still feels very nice overall, and it is definitely a step in the right direction. I still personally think that Mercedes is for sure the #1 leader in terms of interior design and quality, but BMW, they're definitely moving in the right direction for the interiors. And at the end of the day, BMW is a sports sedan. They're focused on the drive, the ergonomics behind the interior, so I can really see where they're coming from. I definitely think it's a really, really nice interior, a good place to sit in. The rear seat has a sufficient amount of legroom. It's not like a lot, but overall it's more than enough to satisfy the needs of the majority of the people that are going to be owning these cars, and the driving position feels really, really awesome in this new 3 Series. Now, I think it's really interesting because we're gonna have to see how these things drive. Already some early reviews have come out. I haven't gotten my hands on one yet to drive one, but as soon as I do, I will be sure to be posting a video on it. Seeing this thing on track with the 382 horsepower, the 0 to 60 in like 4.2 seconds or whatever it is, really, really impressive numbers. BMW is saying the suspension, the steering, the overall chassis dynamics and balance are supposed to be better than any BMW 3 Series that we've seen. So that is very, very promising and exciting news to hear. Anyway, I just wanted to give a quick update video on this car, my thoughts on it, really seeing it in person, following up with you guys on what I think of it. I'm really excited to see these things on the streets. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel for more of videos like this and vlogs and reviews and just all kinds of cool stuff. And I will catch you guys in the next one later.